There we go. All right. Well, welcome everyone to Happy Life, Balanced Life. I'm your host this evening and presenter, Michael DiMuccio. I've been with Nikken forever. Well, not really forever, but it seems like it because it's been 33 and a half years. And that astounds me, even just to say that out loud. I wouldn't have imagined myself being infatuated and in love with something that long. And yet here I am promoting Nikken just as much today as I did day one. I'm very, very happy to be here as your presenter to share with you some concepts. This is a presentation that we put on weekly to allow the opportunity for those of us in the community of Nikken to share Nikken with others who might be looking for either a way to live a happier, healthier life, or looking for a way to supplement their income. And for some of you out there who maybe are a little bit more ambitious, like I was when I first looked at this, maybe looking for a way out of the rat race, the potential for something to really get your income needs met in a different way on another level. So if that's you, please open your mind, open your eyes, open your ears, because what we have to share with you is something that has been a story in the making for quite some time. We call Nikken an empowered way of life. It's definitely empowered living because Nikken is really behind us. It's the backbone behind how we are able to live this quality of life. We think there's a lot of great ways out there for people to live a quality of life. However, I think we found a better way, and I hope you agree with us after seeing this presentation and hearing from some of our colleagues. This image is something that strikes me very, very intimately because I used to be a singer. That was what I had aspired to become when I was first introduced to Nikken. And I found my voice in Nikken. In a lot of ways, what this really represents is living out loud, a person who's really in touch with themselves, their feelings, their emotions, and they're able to wear that on the sleeve. I mean, to the degree that they actually go out in public and share that. That's what I think is what empowered living looks like. It looks like somebody who's comfortable in their own skin and is not afraid to share what they feel. And so if you're somebody who's looking for a way to express that part of you that maybe has been dormant or quiet, or fully express what it is that you are passionate and purposeful about, Nikken could be that. But most people, they don't look like that when I see them out in public. Most people, I see a lot of stress on their face. And there's all kinds of reasons for stress, but no question about it, stress is the number one killer. Whether it's financial worries, health concerns, lack of time, an unhealthy lifestyle. I mean, there's a list here that goes on, and that's just the beginning of the list. But stress is stress. And if we don't really confront it, if we don't really deal with it, it accumulates and can become catastrophic. And so, the question we first have for you this evening to really think about and maybe even review this presentation through the lens of this question is your life in balance? What if there were a change that you wanted to make in the words you see on this page, body, mind, family, society, finances? If you were looking for a significant improvement in the next 2, 3 months, maybe the rest of this year going into 2026, you were looking for something that could significantly impact you, what two areas of your life would you put as a top priority? Now, I like to ask this question out loud. So I'm going to ask you to look at your chat on this Zoom, find that little chat button, and just type in the chat. Go ahead and type in the chat. What is your number one priority? Your number one priority for this year? Go ahead and do that, and I'll just read it off as I'm reading what's coming on the screen. Okay, so here we go. We have finances, 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 body and finances, 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 health, finances, finances, society, finances, and body. Okay, I think we get the gist of this. What is the one that seems to be outstanding? Obviously, it's finances. So, finances is clearly one of the areas that a lot of people find themselves out of balance. And so, if we were going to really address a total wellness solution and we didn't address finances, we'd be missing the mark because that is the number one stressor. And so, this evening is going to actually concentrate on two areas of these five pillars. And but you'll probably see a lot of it is weaved together because one affects the other. There's not one that doesn't affect the other. But we will focus on finances and body, beginning with body. Have a look at this concept here. How could we feel better? Or maybe let me ask that question differently. Would you like to feel good every day? I'm sure the answer is obvious. Yes, we would. And yet, most people aren't feeling that way. Why? It's the choices that we make. It's the choices that we make that make the determining factor as to how we're going to feel. And empowered living is really about locking in on those five principles of wellness and making choices on a daily basis that lead to a feeling good every day, such as enhancing your mind or your mindset, boosting your vitality, strengthening relationships, making a contribution that serves others, diversifying our income sources, and so forth. That's how, if we're in the process of doing that, we can find a solution. That's the how, and that's what Nikken brings to the table. We talk about this idea of results, how we obtain results in our life. If we take a snapshot of our results today, it's not because of something you did yesterday. The life that we're living is a compound effect. It's the effect of choices that we've been making over a long period of time, which essentially becomes our habits. And so if we want to change for the better, we've got to change the choices, which leads to new behaviors and newly formed habits. And it's interesting too, because this compound effect says that it's not big changes that need to be made. In fact, it's very small, incremental changes or choices made with some degree of consistency over time produces these monumental changes in our results. So if you're looking for an improvement in income, health, relationships, happiness, whatever your definition of success is, it's again focusing on minor choices that you make on a daily basis. Let me give you an example of that concerning health. Here's a really stark comparison, a sobering one between North America and its approach to health compared to Japan. These are two countries that have been around in first world countries for a very long time. But take a look at the difference in the results. When we look at Canada, where I live, we rank number 34 in the health index rating. USA number 68. Who's number one? Japan. When we look at longevity, something most people are interested in, USA ranks number 40, Japan number one. The difference in life expectancy is almost 10 years. When we look at cost, the cost of keeping their population healthy in North America, the cost per capita is 12,914. It's one third the cost in Japan. Think about this for a second. If you're an economy major, or even if you're not, it's not rocket science. They spend one third of what we do on the subject of health and outlive and outperform us in the health index by a long shot. Wouldn't it be interesting to know what it is that they're doing differently than we are? And look at obesity. That's a major factor in health issues. And men, 34% in North America, 27.5% among women. And the prevalence of obesity in Japan, 10% of that. Again, 10% of that. So what is the difference? It's right there in the bottom. In North America, the paradigm is treat the illness when it's an illness. We call that sick care. And ironically call the healthcare industry healthcare. Isn't that a joke? You only rely on the healthcare industry when you're sick. It should be appropriately named the sick care industry because that's exactly what it is. But over on the right, in Japan, they actually treat for wellness. They are in the prevention of illness. They spend 90 cents of every dollar on prevention. We spend 90 cents of every dollar on sick care. Would you rather be healthy or sick? Would you rather invest in health or illness? It's pretty obvious. And yet, these are the numbers today. Now, what are some of the factors that we can actually mitigate, that actually can change our health and our health paradigm? The health risk factors or the body burden, the thing that our body is subjected to every day, poor quality of sleep, that's a biggie. That affects your immune system immediately by up to 60% in one night. One bad night's sleep, and you are subject to whatever is going on out there. Air quality. Look at all the premature deaths annually. This is 7 million premature deaths annually. I mean, when we were concerned about the virus and the potential death risks there. Look at what's in front of our face on an annual basis. Water quality, thousands and thousands of chemicals and water quality issues around North America and the world at large. And what do? We turn to bottled water because we think it's better. That's not regulated. We don't know if it's better. In fact, it could be contaminated even worse with plastics and so forth. Electrosmog, that's kind of a new one, but it's not really. We now have an awareness that Wi-Fi has an impact, our cell phones and so forth. Nowadays, if you're sitting in a house and you're in a rural area or even in the city, just open your Wi-Fi connections and you'll see it's not just your Wi-Fi in your house, it's your neighbors too, and so forth. So our bodies are constantly being bombarded by electromagnetic frequencies that are not familiar to our health. And look at what the symptoms are: fatigue, tiredness, concentration difficulties, dizziness, nausea, heart palpitations, pain, digestive issues. Know anybody who has those things? Well, what can you do about that when it's everywhere? It's pervasive. And then malnutrition, that's kind of one that we know as well. But more concerning is the fact that our kids are getting it. Our kids are suffering with adult diseases. And that's largely due, especially obesity, to malnutrition. So it's not like we have a shortage of food. It's the quality of our food that's the problem. And stress is stress. However you get it, it's going to have an impact. So these are things we can look at, and this is exactly what we should look at if we want the real answer. The real answer is to be healthy by choice, not by chance, because chances are you're not going to be healthy for long if you look at the statistics. So we choose empowered living. It's an active process through which people become aware of and make daily choices toward a more successful lifestyle. And that's where Nikken comes in. 50 years ago in Japan, the origins of Nikken, where they are the healthiest on earth, Nikken was in fact embarking on the journey of presenting the solution of wellness, basically the pursuit of balance in those 5 principles, and to aspire to a healthy body, a healthy mind, a healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. The idea of balance is in fact the idea of success. And let's have a listen to what Nikken has to say about it.
Do you ever have days where everything in your life feels in balance? When your mind is clear and your body feels in tune with nature? When everyone in your family is healthy and happy? When you belong to and support a warm, loving community? When you have a stable income and no debt? Mind, body, family, society, finances. Nikken calls these 5 areas of our lives the 5 pillars of wellness. We help you cultivate balance in all 5 areas of life with the tools that build your wellness home. Because to breathe is to live, we focus on clean air. Because water is life, we focus on pure water. Because healthy food nourishes strong bodies, we focus on nutrient-dense organic ingredients. Because everyone needs restful sleep and energy to feel joyful, we focus on rest, relaxation, and magnetic support. And to keep you as youthful looking as you feel, we focus on naturally sourced marine organic skincare. Our vision is to share the 5 pillars of wellness with everyone. And we want to spread the word throughout the world. Because once you achieve a balanced lifestyle, wouldn't you want to help everyone you know to achieve the same wonderful life of active wellness? That's what we offer everyone who is part of our global wellness community. Join Nikken to build your wellness home and live a life in balance. Discover it, live it, share it.
Well, there you have it from Nikken's point of view. And I hope you noted that it's not a one-trick pony. Health and well-being is not about a magic potion, a magic lotion. It's really a complement of things that we are involved in on a daily basis that provide our body with health and sustenance. So how can we begin to live empowered through our health and vitality? We called the concept a wellness home. You heard it earlier. Really, it's the integration of these technologies into our home and the Nikken philosophy of the balance in the 5 pillars. But I want you to also keep in mind that a home could be anywhere, wherever you make your home. It's really the idea of connecting nature back into our lives because we know the solution or the answer is in nature. In fact, all you have to do is go for a walk and you feel better already. Biomimicry is the concept that was looked at. Science really is looking at this very carefully, how nature has evolved over time and how we have evolved in this biosphere. And so the practice of putting technology to replicate nature in our home, in our office, wherever we might be, is really what Nikken's wellness home concept is all about. So if we discover the Nikken Wellness Home, it's maybe with one or two products at a time, or maybe you look at the whole concept at once. Obviously, all of these affect us: air, water, sleep, nutrition, and energy. And so our pathway to a healthier life and lifestyle is by taking charge of the place that we have the most impact and the most influence over, our environment, our home, and protecting and nourishing our body from the outside in and the inside out. That's really what all this technology is about. It's five vital areas: air, the air we breathe. You can't live very well without air. In fact, you can't live more than a few minutes without air. And the quality of the air you breathe is going to affect the quality of how you feel. In fact, if you take a fresh breath of air outside toward, maybe near a waterfall or in a forest, you know the difference. You feel the difference. There's something about that air that's not the same as the air in your home or the air outside in a city. And there's a reason for that. It's not just cleaner. There's also nutrients in the air. It's very nutrient dense with negative ions. So what if you could actually create that or recreate that in your home or your office? Water, we talked about the contaminants out there. Is there an economical solution for treating water, and not only treating it in terms of cleaning it, but also providing water with what it is that makes water functional in our body? It turns out that water has to be alkaline, has to be mineralized in order for your body to do something with it. It's not just about hydration, it's the quality of hydration. Sleep, as we know, is a huge factor. We do it 1/3 of our life. We don't really have a choice in the matter. But if you could shave off an hour of sleep every day, what would you do with an extra 7 hours a week? Think about that for a second. Because a lot of people who are sleeping on the Nikken sleep technology get such a more profound, deeper sleep that they find themselves getting out of bed, waking up alert and fresh in an hour beforehand, feeling amazing. That's a tremendous improvement in the quality of sleep, and that affects health and longevity more than any other thing we could be talking about, including nutrition. Nutrition, though, is a factor. Most people are pressed, rushed to get any nutrition in their body. Nikken makes it very, very convenient, but most important, it's organic. They use whole foods that are organic, which means it's not a substitute, it's a supplement. It's real food. And then, of course, there's the natural energies. As we said, taking a walk barefoot, believe it or not, taking a walk barefoot on your front lawn or wherever you can get access to the ground will affect your blood. It's been proven, it's been demonstrated. You can actually see visuals on this where the molecules of your blood become circular and separate and are able to function better in your blood, in your bloodstream, just by simply taking a quick walk or just standing on the earth outside. Grounding is a really big deal. So what else is a big deal? Why aren't we doing that? Well, most people don't do it as a practice these days. Nowadays, we wear rubber shoes, so we're now fully insulated from the earth. There used to be leather shoes, but now we're so isolated that we don't really have contact with the energy that we should have on a daily basis that really factors into our health and longevity. Once you get connected to these products, you will see such a profound difference in your overall experience of life and energy. You will wonder how you live without it all this time. Now, we can talk about Nikken products all day long, and you just saw a snippet of the categories. There's a lot more products in our product line. But the thing that I want you to hear most is from the people who've been using these products, to hear more about how these products are affecting people. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to invite, let me just remove my pin here. I'd like to invite anyone who'd like to share their story, very brief, and really here are the parameters that I'd like you to share. What was life like before these products were integrated into your life? like maybe what you couldn't do that today you find no challenge in doing, or something of that sort? Give us a kind of a before and after picture. So just a few of you, would you volunteer?
I can share, Michael.
Okay, where are you? I don't see you. Keep talking, I'll find you.
Okay.
There you are.
Before Nikken, I sleep, but I don't sleep that great because I wake up all hours at night. Now with the sleep system, I sleep and I dream a lot. And when I wake up, I feel so much better. And I miss my bed when I'm travel. I can't wait to come home.
I can totally relate to that. I was just on a 2-week vacation in Europe, and not a single day with my Nikken sleep system. Fortunately, I had some of my daytime products with me because I don't know how I would have survived if not for that. So I totally can understand that. Sleep for me, in fact, my favorite product of all the Nikken product line is the sleep system. And I just want to add, normally when I do a presentation, I could do it tonight, but normally when I'm in a live audience, I like to ask this question. If you had to give up all your Nikken products, you were forced to give up all your Nikken products, but you could only keep one, which one would it be? And it's interesting, in North America, that product is the sleep system. No one wants to give up their sleep system. In Latin America, and perhaps for obvious reasons, that product is the waterfall. In North America, the second product is the waterfall. In Latin America, the second product is the sleep system. So it's inverted like that. Thanks for sharing. Madeline.
My favorite is the sleep system too. The person that sponsored me, she told me her sleep story. She loaned me a sleep pack, and that was it. So when I started, I invested in a couple sleep packs, and then my 3 stepchildren, and I kept borrowing theirs. They didn't want to give them up. So then they got sleep systems of their own, and I had extra sleep packs. And so I really built a fast track gold and platinum with all those sleep packs back in those days. With the sleep system. And when I travel, I take the travel pad with me. I still have that aqua one that you fold over and can put into a seat cushion. So I don't travel anywhere without my sleep system. And I'm also taking one level. You know how the new Makura pillow has the 3 parts? I just take the one level off, and you can slide that under the pillowcase on top of a pillow in a hotel.
And that would pack really easily. Wow, that's a great idea,
Very
Madeline.
easily. It packs easily. You can also roll it up if you don't want to carry it, if you don't have a travel pad, and just put it behind you or sit on it when you're on the plane. So you can put a case over it or whatever, have somebody make a cover for it. So it's another way to have a lighter weight seat under your bed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madeline. Look at that. See, that's what I love about these community calls is we learn something. 33 and a half years. This is the first time I'm hearing that. That's amazing. Great story. Thanks for sharing. Paula.
I have to agree with what everybody else says about the sleep system. Prior to having the sleep system, I used to drag my body out of bed and swear at the alarm clock. I swear, I don't know how many slippers I've thrown at it. It was amazing. And after just a couple of days on the sleep system, I was waking up an hour before the alarm went off, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And I wouldn't give my sleep system up for anything.
Amen. I hear
Mike,
you.
that reminds me, if I could just add, Dr. Stan's sleep story. He said the first morning when he woke up, and there was like a crease in his cheek, and he couldn't believe it, and he was able to get out of bed and walk. And that's a man who is amazing story, as you well know, and it was sleep, and his sleep story was, and also the magnetics. The difficulty that he had, he ordered 100 minis, and he made straps that he put around his back and down his legs, and he wore 100 minis until more other products came out.
So we have the products that you can take with you.
Yes.
And of course, we have the products that are stationary that you can apply in your, I like one of the things I like about the sleep system is that you have to just do that once, put it on your bed one time,
Yep.
and then you get the benefit of it every night when you go back to sleep. Is there any other, let's just do one other product. Is there any other product that's been a main product for somebody out there? Lynn? Yeah, let's switch to Lynn here.
Mike, I'm sorry, I didn't. Mike,
My product was water.
Debbie, hold right a second. We'll come back to you. Go ahead.
When our children were young, we would go to vacation up north, and I would not drink water because we had to make a lot of stops. So to make it more convenient. And at that time, I experienced significant head discomfort. It was so bad that I would have to go into a room where it's dark and so on. I didn't realize that I was dehydrated. When our first system came in, I just loved the taste of water. I was able to hydrate my body. And the neat part is, even on that travel, I didn't have to go make stops because my body was hydrated. There was no need. And took about a month to, in a second month, my head challenge totally disappeared, and I never had it since then. And it was dehydration of the of my body.
Fantastic. Rehydration. And last one, Debbie.
80% water. The brain is 80% water.
Debbie,
And-
let's have you.
And on that note, I am missing my waterfall. I'm on vacation now in Washington State, in the Seattle area at my brother's. And I've been suffering without my waterfall. So not that I would give up my sleep system. I brought my seat cushion with me, and I've got that on the bed along with my grounding mat. So I'm kind of experiencing my sleep system still, but I love my water. This is the old sports bottle, and it was the best thing that I could do with getting on the road. So can't leave home without my water either. So I love that as well.
Fantastic. Thanks for sharing, everyone. And again, what you're hearing is the diversity of the products, at least with respect to a couple of the lines, but how impactful they are on our overall well-being and performance. And that's because we're dealing with energy. When you're dealing with energy, energy is energy. It affects every aspect of your body. Let me just get back to us here and continue with the presentation. So again, I wonder if you're all seeing what I'm seeing. And right now, you shouldn't be seeing me. You should be seeing me and the PowerPoint, but I think that might be not the case right now.
We are. We can see you.
Oh, you are? Okay.
We can see this PowerPoint.
Except I'm not seeing what I need to see. So let me see if I can figure out what I have to do different.
It's facts tell, stories tell. It's that slide, Mike. So I think you just need
Yeah, I get that. Just something about my view is not allowing me to do what it is that I want to do. But let's see if this works. Bingo. Okay. All right. Are you still seeing me? Madeline, would you mind if muting? Because I think that's affecting what I can see. All right. And you are still seeing me? Great. Thank you. Okay. So you've heard some stories about the products. Can you build a business with products of this sort? Absolutely, you can. And the Nikken product line is really diverse, which again, I love. It's the idea that it's not one singularity that's going to change someone's life. It's the complement of the things that we deal with on a daily basis. And it's as easy as shopping on the website of the individual who shared this with you. You can go to their personal webpage. We call that a PWP. And you can go shopping, click on the areas of interest and learn more about it. In fact, you can take a little questionnaire, learn a little bit more about yourself and what it is that you might be needing to focus on. So a very unique approach to wellness. Indeed, one of the things that makes Nikken as a health and wellness solution extremely unique in the marketplace. But even from a business standpoint, if you were going to get involved in any type of business, clearly products that can affect more people that are more diverse is something that creates greater opportunity. So how to get started with the Nikken experience? I suggest any one of these packs will certainly be a great way to start. There's a savings involved because they're organized as a pack. The water pack, the energy pack, sleep pack. I like to say 1 pack is good, 2 is better, 3 is best. Clearly for the obvious reasons, the more products you have working with you and on you, the bigger the impact. So become involved with Nikken as a customer, one option. However, if you're looking for more than just to be a consumer, maybe you're somebody who likes to share things with others. If you're a Nikken consultant, by upgrading to your consultant account, then you can share Nikken using your personal webpage. And then anything that someone goes shopping for on your personal webpage results in you actually earning some income. However, if you're like me and some of the people on this call, we love people and we like the idea of making a difference. If you're that person, building a community or contributing to growing this community could be quite an amazing experience, especially when it comes to an income option. So, empowered living in terms of the income option looks a little like this. The reason why so many people are having income as their number one source of stress is because of the way they earn income. And here's it. Here's what it is. If you have a job, you're trading time for money. If you own a small business in which you own a job, you're still trading time for money. And the inherent problem with this formula is that you run out of time to trade. You've only got so many hours in the day to sell your time, and that generates a certain limited income. And generally speaking, it takes all the money that you're earning to live the way that you're living. So if you wanted to improve your lifestyle, you're going to have to give something up. Now, on the other side of the equation is being a business owner or an investor, of course. And this type of ownership is about adding value. This is a different relationship with money. If you can find a way to add value independent of time, you can have both income and time. And that's really what creating multiple streams of income is all about. It's about leveraging systems, it's about leveraging people who each contribute to the whole, and you earn a profit. A profit is always better than a wage. And that's what Nikken provides. It's an option for you. If you look at the overall statistics, 5% of the population enjoys only 5%, excuse me, 5% of the population enjoys 95% of all the wealth, leaving the rest of the population, 95%, to share among that 5% of the scraps. Well, if you had life to live over again or your education to do over again, which one would you rather learn about? How to trade time for money or how to create multiple sources of income? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious what we would choose. Where do you get that education? You get it right here. We're going to show you how Nikken can be an income option to bridge your finances. You might want to start off small, in a small way, with a little retail type model, generating a bit of income to support, some habits or some things that you want to, hobbies that you want to get involved in. But if you're looking for more, maybe a small business model, this is where you can involve other people by introducing not only the products, but also the opportunity to people that can help you expand your team. As you start to expand your team, that generates an additional source of income. And then there's the one that I like the most, the network marketing model. That's the one where we build teams by leveraging a system. Now, here's the way the income works. A retail model, very healthy, up to 30% income. Small business model, very healthy, up to 40% of the business that's being generated. This one is the one that I like the most. 6% up to sixth generation of businesses. That could mean thousands of businesses. And, this is a kind of akin to the idea. I'd rather earn 1% from the efforts of 100 people than 100% from the efforts of myself. Let's say I had 100 people and they were working 10 hours in their Nikken business. 100 times 10, that's 1,000 hours. I'd rather earn a small percentage of 1,000 hours of work and effort than 100% of maybe the 10 hours I have or the 20 hours I have to work on my Nikken business. So that's the logic behind this brilliant concept. And so no matter what, we all contribute to building a community and generating revenue through the consumption of that community. Here's another visual for you. Let's say that's you in the top left-hand corner right there where I'm pointing. And you surround yourself with a handful of people who love the Nikken products that you shared with them, and they love them so much, they use them every day. I mean, one of the nutritionals, we have incredible products. And 3 of them decide to team up with you and start sharing Nikken on purpose. Well, what happens is we teach those people how to do what you just did, to duplicate. So those 3 go out and find 3 people that want to partner with them and customers of their own. As we do that, we start to generate this multiple sources of income, which increases your influence, your impact, and of course your revenue. And this is what it looks like as it starts to build out. So and so sponsors so and so on, and it starts to build an organization. And that's really what happened with me. It became very organic. There were people that I introduced this to who I knew personally, but they knew people I didn't know that they knew personally. And as that grew and they knew people and so on and so forth, it started to expand not just in Ontario where I am, but it started to expand throughout Canada, into the United States, into Latin America. What an amazing scenario that we have to be able to do this business and make a huge impact as it goes. There's a saying, you know how many seeds approximately there are in an apple, but you don't know how many apples there are in a seed. Meaning, when we share Nikken with someone, that someone could be the person who builds an orchard. That was me. I know I was working as an electrician part-time, well, full-time at the time, but I was working as an electrician, Nikken part-time, and I built a business very, very quickly. And the person I know who enrolled me, I don't think they ever expected that. I think they just saw somebody who might want to make some extra money. But I built a huge organization and they have enjoyed the benefit of that. So you never know what's the potential of the people you share this with, which is more than you could expect from pretty much any other opportunity. Nikken makes it possible because the systems that we use make it possible. Amazon built a huge enterprise, the largest retailer in the world, because they simply empowered people to sell on their platform. Uber became the biggest taxi company in the world because they simply empowered people to become self-employed taxi drivers with their own cars using the Uber platform. Well, Nikken is that in the industry of wellness. Nikken provides us a platform with which we can become independent entrepreneurs and share Nikken with others. The advantage that we have, however, is that as we share with others, they may join themselves, adding to the number of people that we have on our team. We can actually grow and multiply our team. And you can do it anywhere. Nikken is a business that's online. For as low as $39.95, you have a Nikken wellness account. And that account allows you to then share the information I've been sharing and your personal web page. The process is simple. Join Nikken, share and promote it, invite people to learn how these products and this opportunity can suit them. Nikken does all the difficult stuff like shipping, the inventorying, the research and development, product development, warehousing, all the internal operations, and they deliver the product directly to the door of your consumers. And what's the best part? Number 5, we get rewarded and paid commissions, special offers, incentives, bonus, recognition, and so forth for having made that share and for our team to have shared that. These little plants could be the beginnings of your team, but those little plants could become something quite significant. Those are the seeds that you dropped. If you're looking for an entrepreneurial experience where you develop as a leader, we have that too. We have a turnkey business, low cost of entry, easily integrates into your life, and a leadership development plan that really most of us, myself included, learned how to become a successful entrepreneur by plugging in. The rewards potential is enormous because you're not just trading time for money. It's a gig built on purpose. You'll be supported by people who've done it. One of the best parts of this is that it's not theory. This is real. And the people who are on this call are examples of silvers, golds, platinums, diamonds, royal diamonds, achievers in Nikken, in our compensation plan. And they're on this call and they're on other calls and training calls where you will learn from the people who've done it and are doing it. I want to sort of kind of catch one or two stories, if I may. I know I'm a little bit on time here, but I get to do what I want. It's my call right now. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I just want to hear, is there anybody out there that would like to share maybe you know what, I'm going to call on you, Bailey, because you have an interesting story. Your story starts off as somebody who was really not looking for a business at all. And yet here you are. So would you mind sharing a little bit about your experience and keep it short if possible?
Okay. Well, a neighbor introduced me to Nikken, not knowing that it was Nikken, just brought me a chair pad. The chair pad basically changed my life in the sense that I became interested in, actually I got hope that I was going to get relief from chronic pain. And the chair pad led to the sleep system. The sleep system did amazing things. I hadn't slept in over 35 years, being in pain all the time, and changed my life. I was able to have better mobility, better accessibility. The inflammation started decreasing. I got relief. I went on to the next product, which was the water system. Love the water system. I was hydrated for the first time in I don't know how long. And that had wonderful effects on my well being, which led to the air system. Same thing happened there. The issues that I had with breathing and all kind of melted away.
So you're kind of a classic example of how this actually happens in real
Yeah.
life, because we've all gone through that. But
Yeah.
tell me, why then the business? How did
So-
that?
So I wasn't interested in the business at all. I just signed up because I was going to save a bit of money. And, you know, we always want to get something cheaper than it is. And when all these products started working synergistically, and I started seeing exponential changes in my health, and with my eyesight, with my blood work, with the way I felt, that I was waking up with so much energy, and the joy returned to my life. I wasn't miserable with the pain. I thought, gee, if I can experience this with how bad I was, what about others out there who have lost hope? And I know I'm one of those people who does want to do good in the world, and that's my reason for being. That's my purpose. So I thought, I have to share this with everybody. I have a moral obligation to share this with everybody that I know. And what happened though was people started noticing, people who knew me in the building that I live started noticing the person. They said, "What happened to you? You're a whole new person." And I said, "No, I'm back to the person I used to be 35 years ago." So that sold everybody on wanting to know more about Nikken. And some of them have joined because they're customers. Some of them have decided they want to do it as a business. And whatever, I'm here to support them. And I keep supporting them by providing them with the products to test. And they come back and they say yes. So that's my story in a real nutshell. You've heard the big one.
Not only that, but in the few months that you've been here, you've risen through the ranks, and you're now recently advanced to our first leadership rank of silver. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And I know we have some veterans on the call, but for sake of time, I'm just going to continue with finishing up this presentation, because the next piece of this is the part that I get really excited about. I get excited about telling people where we've been, where we're at, and where we're going. Because stories like Bela's are the kind of stories that we're going to be creating more and more of. That's what we've been doing for the last 35 years here in North America, almost 36 years. Nikken started in 1989 in North America, obviously in Japan a lot earlier, 1975. But in their first 35 years here, we managed to accomplish quite a bit. 2 million people utilizing Nikken products, turning their home into a wellness home. That's generated over $4 billion in revenue and 1.25% market penetration. In fact, there's more homes being built every year. So we've got about 160 million homes out there that in the North American market alone. And so it's such a small penetration, so much opportunity and tremendous success already. And that success has been primarily driven by this percentage of the population. Boomers, 87%. So 87% of the 2 million people, the 2 million wellness homes, are in the hands of boomers, which are my age, 61 and up. And Gen X, 12%, millennials, 1%. Millennials are down in the 20s and 40 year mark. So if you think about it, that means that in the last 35 years, the people who were millennials, the equivalent of millennials, who are now boomers in this demographic, were the people who are most fascinated by Nikken. And so now the challenge is to introduce the new generation of millennials and Gen X to Nikken. And that's the transition that's happening in Nikken right now. There's a real campaign and effort to create outreach into those younger generations and expose more people who've never heard of Nikken. The potential of taking Nikken to 5% market penetration, 15% market penetration is enormous. In fact, our CEO and owner of Nikken, has announced recently that he would like to 10x the company by 2030. So if you'd like to be part of something that has all its sights on market penetration, growing a larger audience, moving that demographic to a younger audience, then and the space that we're in being wellness and how we deliver wellness in our unique approach, you're at the right place at the right time with such an immense opportunity ahead of us. So if you like what you hear, first and foremost, definitely say yes to exploring wellness with as a customer. You just will not go wrong there. However, if you're an enthusiast and you like to tell people about stuff that you like and you've enjoyed, consider being a consultant and upgrading your customer account for $39.95. From there, it's anything you want it to be. We can help you set some goals and some strategies. But if you're somebody who has heard enough about this or really want to take a stab at the idea of building Nikken as a business where it could become potentially a primary income stream for you, then we invite you to explore that a little bit further. In fact, we do have another call on tomorrow night, the brand night call, which is at 8 p.m. on this channel, is an opportunity for you to learn more about the Nikken technologies. We usually focus in a category or two. And then Thursday, if you'd like to know more about that income option in a more significant way and bring some questions to the table, we have a call scheduled that you can invite. You can be invited to let the person who invited you tonight to ask them to invite you to this call. It's an RSVP call, and you can learn more about what's possible for you as Nikken as an income option. So if you like what you see, if you like the idea of empowered living and something on this call you can relate to, consider those first questions that we asked, the areas of concern. Do you see a possible solution here? Do you see the potential to get what it is that you're really looking to make a difference in? If so, join us. We'd love to have you. It's the best way we found, and I'm sure as you look into this, you might agree with us. So thanks everyone for joining. Thanks everyone who shared. Come again. See you tomorrow night.
Thank you, Meg.
Can I make an announcement? I had a text on.
Just let me end the
Okay,
recording.
yep. Oh, sorry.